Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, a divine messenger, delivering messages to you from the higher realms. Welcome in everyone. Alright, so let's get it. Okay, I was hearing that song, Let's Get It Started with Black Eyed Peas, right? So I was listening to it before starting this reading. Really, I just lost the page. It was something about trusting your intuition, getting loose, cutting some things out. Yeah, I must have closed them out. Trusting your intuition very much. There's a strong feeling about that. Oh, look, I flip right to the Lovers here. Some of you may really need to trust your intuition about a lover because the moon is here. Okay, so there's illusions. There's things that are hidden. So, let's get it started. Let's see what's going on. Ace of Staffs. Okay, so there's some sort of passionate beginning here. You know, the Lovers often comes at a choice. Okay, but the Lovers is such a beautiful card. It's the major arcana of love, right? So there's a very powerful love that's here. Very powerful. Now, when I say it comes at a choice, maybe this love is coming in for you to so choose. Or are you going to go down another karmic cycle? Or, I don't know. Let's find out though. Knight of Swords energy. There's some sort of fast movement. That Knight of Swords comes in fast, but you know what? That Knight of Swords comes in fast with a message. He's the messenger, baby. So there is something that's coming in, but sometimes it's not in the physical. Sometimes it's intuitively. Sometimes you get the download, the realization, it all just click, 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 clicks together. That's what happened to me lately. That's why I love full moons, because they eliminate the veil and the illusion, allowing you to see things, right? And I always get so excited, like, what's going to be revealed to me? What am I going to see? What it's hidden that's going to come to light? And that's when the secrets. That's why you don't have to go looking for the secrets, baby. They always come out. Okay, they do. So everything that people are hiding, it comes out, right? And especially if you really tap into your intuition. And me being a moon goddess, I'm very tapped into the moon. So, but you all have those intuitive abilities, right? All right, let me keep going. Seven of Swords. I told you there's lies, deception, betrayal, and it is being exposed. It's being shown to you. I literally been seeing, I've been catching people up in lies, like, really? Did they realize they just said that? Did they realize that they just contradicted themselves? That they... Like, oh my gosh, you know, sometimes, like, the words mess up. Have you ever had, like, a child, like, telling themselves before, and they're just like, oh my God. Like, literally, like, that's what I feel like is happening. You can be seeing the 7-7 frequency. We've got the 7 of Wands here, which is beautiful, because for some of you, you have boundaries, that baby. And Ace of Swords, there's that download, communication, realization, whatever it is. It could be a combination of both. Look, it's exposing the devil. Damn. So for some of you, you're realizing, like, people's dark agendas, their dark energy. You know, and what's interesting is that when my reading I was giving yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, the day before, but I was seeing how for some of you, like, you're realizing that if you put up boundaries and you pull your energy back from somebody, you can really see them for as they are. Because now, if they were cloaking themselves in your energy, and they don't have your energy to flow back to you, to hide and to parade around in your energy, then they can't finesse you with your own energy. For some of you, you're realizing, like, damn, I was in love with this person because I was in love with myself, because all they were doing was carrying around my energy. Oh my God. That's why people can change once you pull back your energy for real. And that's why you can be like, damn, like, how is it just like I pull back a little bit of energy and I feel like I don't love you anymore? Like, it literally can be like that. People see it as like they fell out of love, things like that. Because, yeah, you're not. Anyway, I don't want to get on that too much. Ace of Pentacles is coming out. There's some sort of new abundant beginning here for you. Oh my gosh. There's the moon again. See, secrets. But you know, I love the moon energy. It's about exposure and things like that. For some of you, this new beginning, like, it was hidden from you because you had to figure some things out. And now that you are, it's like you get a reward, right? Because if you know, the moon, sometimes you get on a path of what's unknown, and you discover something beautiful, something amazing, right? That was hidden too. So that's kind of what I feel like is going on here. Like, because I feel, look at all those cards jumping out. The Two of Cups here with Justice and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, baby. Because you were dealing with a painful cycle, right? I feel you were dealing with a hidden little devil energy. You were dealing with a little hidden enemy, right? You could have been in a love connection where somebody was very heavily jealous of you. So they were competing for love, and it was about like them dominating and controlling you and stealing the love away from you because they couldn't feel love for them, and they just wanted you to like siphon your energy to feel love. Like, it's messed up. They were manipulating you for love. They weren't loving you. They were like, and I don't know why. Because they wanted to hold on to the darkness that much. But yeah, it was anyway. It's not for everyone, but if you feel that's for you, baby, then it is. So Queen of Cups is here. You stayed in your beautiful, loving energy. You didn't let them turn you, steal your love away. That's what they were trying to do. Fucking energy vampires. No. Okay, I'm going to stop. 8 of Swords here. So you could have been hung up for a little while, right? You didn't know how to get out of a situation, but guess what? This new beginning is here for you. Hell yeah. King of Pentacles on the bottom. Yeah, so you're calling in something. Yeah, the Lovers. You're realizing that the love that you were pouring out to this devil, well, you've got somebody that's ready to reciprocate that love to you. That's why there's a choice here, baby. Yeah, 3 of Cups. Ooh. Union celebration, the High Priestess. This is a very spiritual card. Like, intuitively, like, you know it's time to walk away. 8 of Cups. Maybe for some of you, you did this. Maybe you felt the calling of this big, beautiful full moon in Taurus that we just had on November 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. The beginning of November. We're still feeling this energy out. It was a super moon, so it's like intensified. So we heavily feeling this the whole week, right? Anyway, all of my readings are timeless too, know that. If you're not catching my readings in real time, then subscribe to the channel, baby, so you can. Because it's more fun to take advantage of them, because I'm always going to be letting you know about the cosmic alignments. Like I said before, I am a moon goddess, okay? So I'm very intuitively tapped into the moon energy. So you're always going to hear me talk about like the moon cycles and the different energies and the things to take advantage of. But they're timeless because time is just constructed here for the 3D realm, and it's really about control. And really, when you break away from control, it's for everything all in divine timing and things like that. You co-creation. You can't put time on things. Okay, so this 5 of Staffs is coming out with the 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. See, you could have been in conflict within your mind, right? Because you were trying to control factors or something like that, since I was just on that. But the 2 of Cups is here. See, and for some of you, like, this taught you to love yourself, right? Some of you, like, that was the lesson. That was the final thing that you needed to do. You needed to learn to love yourself. You needed to choose to love yourself. So for some of you, this choice of love, what it may look like, if you don't know who to choose, baby, because you got 2, and you got one cloaking themselves in your energy that's really a hidden enemy and it's filled with devil energy and toxicity. If you can't distinguish that, then you're not ready. But you probably do. And then you got a beautiful energy, but maybe you don't know. Love yourself. Just know you're going to attract just that. Okay. So that's very beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So for some of you, this may look like coming into union with yourself, which normally that's what you do anyway, right? And then you attract to others that are in union with themselves, which means they're not going looking for love. They're not going and looking for lessons of love and things like that because they're fully and complete loving themselves, right? They don't have karmic lessons, right? And so High Priestess is here, very intuitive. When I keep seeing the High Priestess like this, you could be reaching higher levels of ascension. Okay, we've got the Star card here. This is wish fulfillment, baby. Yes, I love this powerful major arcana. It's so beautiful. And often it comes after a time of healing. So if you feel like this is you, you've recently gotten out of something, or maybe you're healing now and you're getting ready to have wish fulfillment. Either way, be in this beautiful energy, right? Don't focus on the past timelines. Don't focus on the past hurt. And even with the discovery, like I say, a lot of times the discovery can get you hung up for quite a bit. But a lot of times you need that discovery for you to see the truth, but then you forgive and you release. And that's something I remembered. I was like, yeah, I see all of this, and it made me angry for a little bit. And then I was like, yeah, but I don't want to continue to feel that bitter energy. And I get it from a higher level, like they didn't even really understand what they were doing. It's unfortunate that they were sabotaging themselves, because I would have unconditionally loved them forever, you know, and they would have had everything. But because they let darker forces control their mind, it's unfortunate they sabotaged that. And now they won't have that, you know. So it's almost like I send love and healing or whatever, right? That they can break free, because not everybody can break free from those strongholds, right? They're not ready to. If they're holding on to fear, you know, worry, you know, and a lot of times people have fear. They have fear of intimacy, fear of commitment. Literally, that's literally why I don't know why I keep saying literally. Whoa, okay. Sometimes it's just because I channel fast, and I don't know. But anyway, so somebody just had a really big fear of commitment, right? They didn't want to get vulnerable enough, you know. So they didn't feel like they were good enough or something like that. There was some sort of wounding here that was stopping them from doing that. Anyway, send them healing, okay? But there's no reason for you to be hung up, baby. Queen of Pentacles is here, Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. I feel you're waiting for a long time in a past person. Yeah, you're waiting for someone to see your potential. You're waiting for somebody to see your gifts, to see how abundant and beautiful you were. But instead, they were competing with you and tearing you down and trying to destroy your beautiful love and steal it from you instead of... That's what I mean. It makes no sense to me, except that they're just a devil, just a hidden energy. It's like this person is so badly wounded, they want to destroy love instead of honor it. So they were trying just to, like, use it for their own selfish gains. Literally, that's what this energy is coming out as. There's no, like, too much was done. Chariot. Too much was done. Everything was seen. Everything is always seen. Wow. I mean, it's not everybody's story. I mean, that story. I mean, if you feel like it's yours, it is. But it's unfortunate. But see, it's due to wounding. So it's just like if somebody's sick. I take woundings and trauma as like somebody having like an illness, like a mental illness, right? Sometimes your mind just can't do that. Can't. It's been through too much. I know because I've been there. It took me a long time to heal my traumatic things. Like my nervous system was so bad. Like I would jump at every little sound. I you know, because I'd been through just so much, right? Like I remember like just, you know, it takes a long time, and there's no time on like healing, and everybody's different, right? And their situations matter. And then, you know, me having to go through like not having security and stability within family and homes, and like I don't even disclose how many different places I've lived and I've moved, right? Let's just say it's more times than like some people's lifetimes, multiple incarnations of times they've moved that I've lived in just this one incarnation. You know, and it's been like my entire life, you know. So that causes a lot, right, on somebody's nervous system. So anyway, but I finally have healed all of that, right? And, you know, you have to choose to heal it yourself. And just like I was explaining to somebody else about like medications and things like that, they're temporary. They create the blocks, the beta blockers, just like the, you know, the drugs, the alcohol. They're all to pause reality. Some people need that for a short little while, but you know, without that, they wouldn't make it. That's why you can't force someone to stop if they don't want to. But you have to know that you have to stop those things to heal, to advance forward. And if somebody can't let go of an addiction, they can't advance forward. So you could have been dealing with somebody that just wasn't ready, kept going to an addiction, going to a, you know, the Seven of Swords we were seeing. It's not always, oh, they were cheating there with another lover. It literally could have been somebody just kept indulging in an addiction. They were hiding an addiction, a wounding, right? Could have been fear. Seven of Swords is read a lot as fear, okay? And then when people drink, then they get, infused depending on what they drink with spirits, right? But then you lower your vibrational level down and you are susceptible to attacks. Even just being in those energies, right? Like, it's sad, but that's what I'm saying. They come from woundings or whatever, and they're like illnesses. So you're going to be mad at somebody for being sick. You're going to be mad at somebody that you know what I mean? You can't. So you send them love and compassion, but is it fair to you to be bound to them? That is something I've had to learn in my life. The hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life was literally cut people off that I loved. I have so much love to give. I love everyone. I always do. And like, even past lovers, past friends, like, I always hold love for everybody because I know that it's not really, they shouldn't be there. It's the lack of love that they feel, why they can't feel that way. So the hardest thing for me to do is to walk away from people, but I know that I can't stay isolated to them, or it stops me from spreading my love and joy to others, right? So my hardest thing has been having to let people go, especially ones that get intimately close to me, and I have to break away to save myself, right? Because a lot of people seek light through us earth angels, right? They don't realize that we incarnated here holding the frequency from the heavens, so they seek it directly through us. Y'all, the saving has always been here. Us earth angels have always been here. That's why you get routed to them. You turn people away, you're turning away God, because we're one with God, and we're helping you to get that way. And to understand that religion separates and divides. It was a book to teach you, to lead you down the pathway. But they hijacked the system, they corrupted it, they deleted a lot of things, hid a lot of things because they wanted to control the masses, right? And they wanted to separate and divide to conquer, because united we rise. And united we have the oneness, so they had to separate and divide to be able to have a structured matrix that they could control. Otherwise, it would be all in union. So anyway, so that's why, it gets hard, because people, just like I was saying when I was talking about this love reading earlier, how somebody was like harvesting your love, because see, that's why people get addicted to you and your energy. It's supposed to show them love, but people try to hijack it, control it, because they know it's something they've never experienced anywhere else. Because it is pure etheric love, right? But you have to be careful of the ones that just want to hijack it, the ones that want to destroy it. The ones that let the entities come to attack and destroy, right? And the hardest thing is, especially the more love you pour out to them, especially when you've got the ones that want to manipulate. And that's what was happening. Someone was dealing with a shapeshifter. They were dealing with somebody that was learning how to cloak in the energy. They were learning how to cloak in your energy. So they were trying to use your energy against you. Yeah. You think that was going to get it going for so long? No. You don't get a finesse source gone, divine. You don't. You don't think us earth angels are heavily watched and protected? That's why all the things that come at us, yeah, they may touch us a little bit, but we always protect it, and that's why we always rise like the phoenix, baby. We're heavily protected. That's why you make an earth angel cry. You upset an earth angel? Okay. And you get more than a spanking. Okay. We'll say that. So a lot of times, yeah. Saving was always here. It was always here. So I gotta not turn away people. And there's different levels of angels. They had me investigating that too. They label it all New Age stuff. Oh, it's a New Age term that the Earth angels have incarnated. No, baby. No. It's not new. There are many of us that incarnated to rise. For the ones that wanted to experience all of the pain, if you're one where you wanted to experience pain, you wanted to experience hardships, not because, no, it's different. Like, you're going to either get this or you're not. If you're one where you wanted to experience those things. You wanted to experience what it would be like to not have power, not because from a young age, like, because you knew that you were on mission work. You knew it. That's what I mean. As Earth Angel, you know it because you know that you're going to thrive.